who's and what's and whys and wherefores. Here you'll find your what-nots and therefores. So come on along, let's find out what's going on. Where's and when's and who's and what's it's. No matter what your taste, you can trust it's the place where you can find all your new Disney news. Where's and when's and who's and what's it's. No matter what you taste, you can trust it's the place where you can find all your new Disney news.
Welcome to the Sweep Spot current events as of February 16th, 2023.
Yay! All right. Thank you for joining us. We like to catch up on what's happening every couple of weeks and fill you in on what's going on at the Disneyland Resort.
That's right, and Ken and I are both former Disneyland Custodial cast members, and we talk about Disneyland news, current events in this episode, and then on our main episode, we usually talk history. We have interviews with Imagineers, former cast members, authors, and we talk Disneyland. Also, we have 2 books out, Cleaning the Kingdom. You can get paperback on our website signed. Also on Amazon, not signed, and you can get them in digital copy on Kindle, both books, and also audiobook through Audible, and where you get audiobooks, both books. And we do a Patreon once a month. If you'd like to help support our show, you can join and get 1 bonus episode per month and join us for a live stream once a month. Be a part of the community and what we're doing here. Go to our website, check out all the links to t-shirts and just all the different things we have going on. If we're doing an event, we usually report it there. We don't have any planned yet, but you never know. So just wanted to get those announcements out there. You know who we are, and I'm really excited to get into the current events. But before we do that, we're going to have Eric from D180 bringing us the latest. And he's from Concierge, so he's bringing us the D180, is what I mean. And then we'll get into the current events.
Hello everyone, this is Eric Johnson with Concierge and welcome to the D180. While Ken and Lynn cover all things Disneyland, in the D180 we take a spin around the rest of the Disney universe and we do it in 180 seconds. Let's jump right in. We start our journey in the frozen north of Alaska. I get it, some of you might be living through your own frozen adventure at present. Maybe a cruise through similar terrain isn't on the top of your list right now. But think ahead to those warmer months. A Disney cruise through Alaskan waters might be just the ticket this summer. The Disney Cruise Line departs Vancouver many dates from May through September. Explore Alaska during Disney Cruise Line's Silver Anniversary. The Disney Wonder visits multiple locations along the Alaskan coast. Spend some time among bald eagles, bears, and whales south of Juneau, where one of the country's largest glaciers provides pristine water to the Alaskan wilderness. Another stop along the cruise brings guests to the Hubbard Glacier amid Alaska's somewhat misnamed Disenchantment Bay. Your stop in this icy paradise includes views of seals basking in the sun and 600-foot-tall walls of snow and ice. If you're lucky, you could witness the spectacle of this ice crashing into the sea. Other destinations on the route include the state capital of Juneau and the fishing town of Ketchikan. Any destination along the Wonders journey includes hefty doses of local flavor, Native American culture, and modern living. Alaska remains a major frontier outpost even today, and you can make it your next destination. Stopping back ashore, we're getting just a bit closer to the new Disney dining destination at Hollywood Studios, Roundup Rodeo Barbecue. The title just has the 3 letters B, B, and Q, but I think it's safe to assume we'll all say the whole word, right? Continuing the theme of Andy's Toy Story Land, the Imaginative Lad has assembled another playset filled with everybody's favorite friends. Head on in for some fun views and some great-looking barbecue. Hollywood Studios has become a very popular park, and it's great to see some more food options coming up. The restaurant doesn't open until March 23rd. If you happen to be in the parks around then, book your reservations starting February 21st. Oh, and speaking of Disney dining, you can still take advantage of the new Disney Dining promo card if you're staying at Walt Disney World. Vacation packages of up to 5 nights are eligible for a gift card good for dining locations only. Save up to $750 on your meals. You only have a few weeks left, though. Book that vacation anytime from now until March 27th. And that's 180 seconds. I hope you enjoyed our quick spin around the rest of the Disney universe. If you'd like to learn more about these Disney adventures or just have a few questions, please come on over. Visit the social media and websites of both the Sweep Spot and us, their official travel planners concierges. We look forward to planning something special for you and your family. I'm Eric Johnson, and this has been your D180.
Plan your next getaway vacation to a Disney destination by contacting our friends at Concierge, our magical travel and vacation planning partners.
Whether you're going to Walt Disney World, Disneyland, a Disney cruise, Disney's Aulani in Hawaii, or Adventures by Disney, contact the people who specialize in Disney. Want to visit Universal? Concierge can help you with that too. It's not going to add any cost to your vacation. Go to concierge.com, that is CONCIEARS.com, like concierge and mouse ears, because they are your travel concierge to Disney, with you every step of the way.
They can get you reservations, update you on changes, conditions, and take away the stress of planning a vacation. Let them do the heavy lifting.
Want to have Lynn be your concierge? Email Lynn at lbarron@concierge.com. That's lbarron@concierge.com.
Mention the Sweep Spot when you book a package with them, like a week on a Disney cruise or a hotel stay with theme park admission tickets, and get a special gift. Now we're going to have the current events. Ken, do you have anything for us?
Oh, I've got a few tidbits. Yes, I do.
Oh, good.
Starting right off the bat, from MiceChat.com, Samantha's David Friedman says, hidden Disney details in Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. And, you know, if you've been paying attention to the previews and the opening of that, you'll know a few of these things. As she wrote, there's no question the brand new Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway at Disneyland is a feast for the eyes and ears, with colorful, immersive cartoon scenes and a catchy theme song, which is Nothing Can Stop Us Now. That song may even challenge It's a Small World for the Disneyland earworm crown. But once the initial wonderment subsides, eagle-eyed riders are noticing that Disneyland's newest ride-through attraction and the resort's first ride starring Mickey and Minnie is also loaded with hidden nods to Disney history, otherwise known as Easter eggs. And we're told it has more hidden Mickeys than any other attraction at the Disneyland Resort. There are dozens of surprises hidden by Imagineers in the Disneyland exclusive queue inside El Capitan Theater, as well as throughout the attraction itself.
Great.
So, if you go and click through, as all of these are available as usual at thesweepspot.com. If you click through, you can see some of those details. She lists them, and it sounds like it's. I've seen all this. I've seen a lot of good feedback for this.
I have too. I'm excited to to see it sometime. So, yeah, it should be good. I think it's a good addition to Toontown. Something that Toontown definitely needed. Obviously Roger Rabbit was well, Mickey's House and Roger Rabbit attraction was some of the main attractions there, but over time, I feel like the attraction to go up there has kind of lacked, and I think that this is this definitely secures Toontowns in its to stick around, because there was always that, right?
Yeah, it seemed like there was this question about, are they gonna a lot of people thought they would expand Galaxy's Edge there, yeah, so
Frozen Land or whatever. There was all these different things.
Definitely, they've committed to Toontown. So
yeah, very weird.
So, but they've committed to Toontown, but the reopening of the rest of Toontown was delayed.
Oh, no.
From the Orange County Register, Brittany McDonald reported that Disneyland delays Toontown reopening due to heavy winter storms that slowed construction. Disneyland has pushed back the grand opening of Mickey's Toontown by more than a week. After a series of heavy winter storms that swept through Southern California slowed construction progress on the reimagined themed land. Mickey's Toontown will now debut on March 19th at the Anaheim theme park instead of the previously announced March 8th opening date. So all of you with reservations, and flights and all that sort of thing are just going to have to rearrange everything now if you wanted to be there when it was open or for the opening. If you were counting on it being open, if you were counting on the grand opening being that one date, now you're going to have to change everything. So, I'm sorry, folks.
Yeah, people will still show up on the 8th and say, "What's going on?"
Yeah, they're going to say, "Hey, wait a minute, where's the ceremony?" But I think it's funny, delayed about a week. It's like, laughs in Test Track. Or whatever, or even for another company's thing, the Jaws attraction at Universal Florida, that was like a major delay. But anyway, it rained in Southern California, so that kind of delayed things. Yeah, rain, okay. Everybody.
They can make it up. Just work extra hard, right? Longer. All right.
As they say later in the story here, Cafe Daisy will take over space once dedicated to the land's quick service food stands, like Pluto's Doghouse, Daisy's Diner, and Clarabelle's Ice Cream. The Daisy Duck-themed sidewalk eatery will serve dinner classics. Shade trees and umbrellas will dot the City Hall courtyard, filled with outdoor dining tables. Next door, Good Boy Grocers Market, themed to Mickey's dog Pluto, will sell grab-and-go drinks and snacks. Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
So LaughingPlace.com has that story as well, if you want to click through to see that. And something else LaughingPlace.com has is photos for it has work begins on Pacific Wharf's transformation into San Francisco from Big Hero 6. So, yes, if you haven't seen Big Hero 1 through 5 and Big Hero 6, it's time to do that so that you'll be up to speed on this. At last year's D23 Expo, it was announced that the Pacific Wharf area of Disney California Adventure would be transformed into San Francisco from Big Hero 6. Work has now begun. I like the way this is written. Work has now begun to begin the area's transformation. And the reservoir that surrounds Pacific Wharf has been drained to begin construction on the massive Golden Gate Bridge-esque centerpiece of the new area. The wharf also serves as a draining location for Grizzly River Run, which is currently closed for refurbishment through March 16th. When completed, the reimagined area will feature a place to meet Baymax as well as new spots to eat and shop. Yay, eating and shop. Yes, I'm so glad for that. let's see. Okay, well, if you were paying attention to the Bob Iger investors call, one of the things he mentioned was, hey, an Avatar experience will come to Disneyland. Well, what does that mean? So Brady McDonald had a story called 11 Places Disneyland Could Build an Avatar Experience. So, yeah, I mean, because I thought of, because they immediately think of Animal Kingdom, but it doesn't have to be the same things that were built at Animal Kingdom.
I don't even think it'll be anything more than some virtual thing, or maybe a character thing, or
a cutout with a
or a VR thing. That's what I was thinking. So,
well, as they say in the story here, Iger announced during an earnings call with investors on February 8th that an exciting Avatar experience is coming to Disneyland Resort following the success of Avatar: The Way of Water in theaters at and the Pandora World of Avatar themed land at Disney's Animal Kingdom in Florida. So because those are both successful, I mean, it makes sense. The company has this movie out, so the highest, I mean, it's like the highest earning movie ever. What do you mean to tell me they're not going to do something with it? Of course they're going to do something with it. So, I mean, they would be foolish not to, right? So,
well, I was going to say something that there's an Avatar experience. It's called the Avatar Experience. It's in New Zealand, and that's exactly what it is. It's kind of like a VR kind of character / different things. So, I think that's what it'll be, because they wouldn't just announce something like that over an earnings call, right?
Well, I don't know. I mean, who knows?
If it was big, like a whole land or something, I don't think they would do that.
Yeah, you never know for sure. If it was a whole land, you'd think they'd have more to do with it. But you want to tell investors that you're taking advantage of what your audience likes,
and what the company's invested in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the quote from Bob Iger is, "We're going to bring a version of Avatar to Disneyland." Well, that can mean anything. So as the article says, an experience in Disney parlance can literally mean anything, from a specialty food offering to an entire new theme park. But Iger spoke of the Avatar experience in the context of the Pandora World of Avatar themed land at Walt Disney World, suggesting the new addition will be something more than a new blue churro sold at a Disneyland vending cart. How about the Avatar popcorn buckets, right? I mean, maybe that's it. Are they going to put a limit on how many each person can buy? Let's take a closer look at the 11 places an Avatar experience could be built at Disneyland, ranked from the smallest to largest footprint. So, I mean, I immediately, before I read this article, I had already thought, what could they do? They could maybe where the Sub Lagoon is, or, Star Wars Launch Bay, or
probably Launch Bay, right?
Maybe something in California Adventure in the Hollywood area, or, who knows? Maybe they could just, overhaul all of Tomorrowland. I mean,
Magic Eye Theater.
Definitely Magic Eye Theater. That would be an easy one, right?
Yeah.
So, or they have the Muppet Vision went over in California.
Magic, yeah.
But as he says here, they can do a Tomorrowland meet and greet characters.
Sure.
They could do a downtown Disney shop. They could do Hollywoodland backlot sound stages. And they could do it at Star Wars Launch Bay, as we said. Tom Sawyer Island. And as he says, Tom Sawyer Island seems like an unlikely place to put Pandora, but it could work with the right amount of Imagineering. It makes no sense in the Avatar universe to have a riverboat, pirate ship, and canoes circling the 2-acre island all day long, but an inward-facing land could solve the problem, and the river crossing could be tied into the sequel's Way of Water theme. Yeah, the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. He says there's a large swath of 4 acres between Rise of the Resistance and Splash Mountain that some thought would one day become home to the West Coast version of the Star Wars Hotel. But now the Galactic Star Cruiser is seeming less like a cash cow every day, and with occupancy rates dropping and Disney discounting stays to attract voyagers.
There's not a lot of land back there. Pretty
Yeah.
narrow. Yeah. Okay.
Well, as he says, it would require scrapping the Winnie the Pooh dark ride.
Oh, right. Well, that's
And,
a small footprint. Yeah.
I mean, we've sometime working there, they would come up with some things, and we'd be kind of like, how are they going to do that? And then they would do it, and we would go, well, yeah, we were right. It was a terrible idea. Or we could say, well, look at that, they pulled it off. I won't mention what was a terrible idea. California Adventure. All right. Let's see. Fantasyland Theater. Yeah, they could do something there, right? Timon parking lot. They could do it in Timon parking lot. Grizzly Peak overlay, of all things. What do Tomorrowland makeover. That would be so that's the second largest. That's number 10, right? He says do a Tomorrowland makeover with it. And then the final one is part of Disneyland Forward. The biggest version of an Avatar experience would be a new theme park dedicated to the film franchise.
I don't mind that one. That's not. I mean, I'm all for more land being used for a theme park. Especially a third. Yeah.
So, well, we'll see what happens with it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, hey, let's just get rid of people. So, how are we going to design and build all this stuff? I don't know. We're going to get rid of people. As the Orange County Register reports, and again, Brady McDonald, former Disneyland Resort president squeezed out by Disney job cuts. Rebecca Campbell, and I was thinking, Rebecca Campbell, when was she, because I know they've had a revolving door over the years. I'm thinking George and, Josh and...
Yeah, when was she president?
Ken Potrock and blah, blah, Rebecca Campbell. As the story here says, Rebecca Campbell, who served as Disneyland Resort president for less than a year, has decided to leave the Walt Disney Company just days after Iger announced massive job cuts during a quarterly earnings call with investors. So again, with that call, Disney Parks Chairman Josh D'Amaro said in a memo that the job cuts would impact the division, which includes Disneyland and DCA. Well, of course it would. I mean, that's the majority of your labor is in his division. Campbell replaced D'Amaro as Disneyland Resort president in September 2019, when D'Amaro moved to a similar role at Walt Disney World. Campbell was replaced in May of 2020 by current Disneyland Resort president Ken Potrock in an executive shuffle by then new and since fired Disney CEO Bob Chapek. D'Amaro became Disney Parks chairman during the shuffle. Campbell's brief 8-month tenure at Disneyland included 2 months during the year-long coronavirus closure, ding ding ding, of the park. I think they retired the ding 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 on that, but I don't know.
Maybe.
Campbell, chairman of Disney's International Content and Operations, opted to leave as a result of Iger's executive leadership reorganization, according to The Hollywood Reporter. The New York Times reported that Campbell was, quote, squeezed out, end quote, in the latest executive shuffle. So, you rise up really fast and then you're out. So, unless you're Bob Iger, then they bring you back. Well, this is an interesting story to see in the Register from Brady. Disneyland fans blast plans for Splash Mountain makeover as tedious and boring. It's quite interesting that they would run this story. Disneyland and Disney World fans nervously awaiting Princess Tiana's takeover of Splash Mountain on both coasts are worried that the new water ride is starting to sound more like an elevator pitch for a boring business venture than a fun-filled bayou adventure. Walt Disney Imagineering announced the transformation of Splash Mountain in Anaheim and Florida way back in 2020, and the creative arm of the company has been teasing out details ever since about the new backstory for the twin attractions debuting. Pardon me.
Bless you.
I was going to hit the mute button, but I couldn't do that. Thank you. Thank you for blessing me. I'm so professional. So anyway, they've been teasing out details ever since the new backstory of the attraction debuting in the late 2024. The latest reveal for the princess makeover of Splash Mountain has left fans scratching their heads rather than building buzz for Tiana's Bayou Adventure log ride coming to Disneyland and the Magic Kingdom. So he has a quote here. He calls it "according to Mouse Planet," and this is one heck of an elevator pitch to cover or cover letter for a small business administration loan, but it doesn't sound like a very exciting ride, according to Mouse Planet. So far, Tiana's Bayou Adventure sounds like a good business week feature, but not something I'm eager to make a Lightning Lane reservation for. Mice Chat initially thought swapping in Princess and the Frog characters, music, and special effects would be the perfect fit for Splash Mountain. But this is a quote from Mice Chat. The story really has us shaking our heads and wondering if perhaps Imagineering has lost control of this project. There is way too much backstory about restaurants and ingredients, and nothing about drama and thrill. Well, the thrill is there's restaurants and ingredients, and all of a sudden there's drops. So there's the thrills right there. Disney doesn't need to write an unnecessary sequel to the popular 2009 film for the new theme park rides, according to Mice Chat. Commenters on the official Disney Parks blog blasted the attraction backstory as bland, underwhelming, and uninspiring. Is there a section on the ride where Tiana has to visit the permitting office and fill out the proper tax forms? A user named Bishop wrote on the Disney Parks blog. Could this ride be any more tedious? So some people, it's gonna. People, it's still gonna have the drops. Okay, so
the physical ride will still be the way that but why Disney's done this lately. Why make everything so difficult? It's just a plain good story, and when people don't want to have an original story written unless they're making a second movie and this is based off of that. I don't know.
That would be there's speculation for you.
I don't know. I'm just guessing.
I can see it now. Tiana, the Way of Water.
You know what I mean? Just simplify everything. Kids don't need to have all this. They want to go and remember that in the movie that they remember. Not
Essentially, you're right. Essentially, it's taking a dark ride and making it an e-ticket, right?
Right.
And if you look at the dark rides in Fantasyland, Peter Pan and Snow White and Pinocchio, Alice in Wonderland, Mr. Toad, you don't even have to watch those movies, to enjoy that, because you're just getting these vignettes, right? These really brief moments where you're experiencing scenes, reminiscent of the movie.
Well, look what it is now, all right? A lot of people had never seen Song of the South or even know that it's connected to that movie.
Right.
So they just enjoy
Hence, that's one of the reasons they're doing this.
But why? But what I'm trying to say is that the story of the movie is not necessarily needed to to
You don't
have
need
a
to do
good
you don't
ride.
need to you don't need to do a sequel, and
Right.
you don't need to have the whole story of the movie.
No.
You know, you can just have that stuff that's evocative of popular songs from the movie.
Right.
You know.
People, the things that people are familiar with, they want to see it live in front of them and live through it. They don't.
Yeah,
I mean,
to actually
yeah.
go into it,
Right.
That's something people can't do, at least yet, at home. Even if they've got the best entertainment system out there, they don't get to actually go into that setting with the movement and the smell, and it surrounds them in three-dimensional form in a way they can't get at their home or even in their local movie theater.
And that's the point of it, for the most part.
That is the point of it. I want to fly to Neverland. Okay, well, let's go on Peter Pan.
Or even something newer like Radiator Springs Racers. Look at that. They didn't come up with some original story. It just kind of goes. I don't know. Anyways, maybe this is a topic for a bonus episode.
It could be.
Okay. All right.
We can go over that. Speaking of sinking prospects, Pirates of the Caribbean riders rescued from sinking boat by Disneyland Fire Department.
Oh my.
Yes, Brady McDonald reported on that. Now, again, here we have a major newspaper reporting on a boat taking on water at Disneyland, but probably because it went viral. These things have always happened, but you didn't have social media back in the day to make it go viral. So, as the story says, a Pirates of the Caribbean boat took on enough water near the entrance to the attraction that riders needed to be evacuated with the assistance of Disneyland's on-site firefighters, according to a recently posted TikTok video. The viral TikTok video with 1.4 million views shows the Disneyland Fire Department using a portable staircase attached to a gangplank to help riders from the boat that sank near the load-unload area of the attraction. So at least it was there and not, like in the middle of the battle scene,
Well, that would have been more exciting.
If
you're on the boat.
And that's a real e-ticket right there. Riders were stuck on the Pirates of the Caribbean boat for an hour before they were rescued, according to James. How? I mean, you could have like jumped out at that point, but they probably told not to jump out. Probably told to stay there. Right. Disneyland provided the stranded riders with $30 vouchers for new socks and lightning lane passes for other attractions. James wrote in the comments section.
It tells you how much socks are at Disneyland. $30.
Well, at least they did lightning lane, because if you've been stuck there for an hour, think about how much money you've paid to be there.
That's true.
And an hour spent stuck, that's time is money,
Yeah. Like you said, this stuff happens. It's always happened. I mean, for whatever reason, Disneyland's not perfect, and I've seen comments. Oh no, things are falling apart.
No, it's happened before. Well, speaking of time is money, right. Disneyland visitor spending increases despite 20% smaller crowds during the holidays. And Brady reported that Disneyland is finding that well-heeled vacationers spend more when the Anaheim theme park is not bursting at the seams, and there are fewer thrifty annual pass holders clogging up Main Street, USA. The Disneyland and Walt Disney World Resort significantly increased revenue and income despite reducing attendance capacity by 20% during the most recent quarter that ran from October through December. Disney CFO Christine McCarthy said during an earnings call with investors. So a lot came out during that call. Disney's domestic theme parks reduced capacity during select peak holiday periods by approximately 20% versus pre-pandemic levels to prioritize the guest experience, according to McCarthy, shifting the attendance mix at Disney's domestic theme parks from annual pass holders to daily visitors who spend more on food, souvenirs, and upgrades has helped manage crowds without hurting profits. So I read this and I think, they're going to end the pass holder program, the key holder program. No, they're not going to end it. They won't end it, but this is why they want your reservations limited, and they want other people there. People who don't get to come every week or every month or whatever.
I get it, but I still think that pass holders do spend money.
Yeah.
And in fact, they're the ones that spend the money on all the collectible things and stuff that maybe a normal tourist wouldn't.
Right. And I always found it helpful when we did have a lot of frequent visitors, frequent guests. Annual pass holders would come frequently because they know exactly where they're going and why and what they're doing, and they would often help. I'm talking about from when you're a cast member.
Yeah.
These people often help other guests. Yeah. So in a way, it can make our job. It would make our jobs easier because you had people who know, already know what they're doing and why and where they're going, and they often help others to figure that out too, as opposed to just a bunch of people who just have no idea, what's offered where, and yeah. So.
Yeah, and that's not that's not mentioning the cast members too, right?
Well, cast members visiting the park. But being a cast member, it could be good. It could be great to have a bunch of regulars in your area. Okay. Well, as usual, MiceChat.com has Disneyland updates. And they had one Disneyland update in the parks and off the rails from Liliana Parker. And it started out with, while most of the Mice Chat crew went off the rails this weekend for the world-famous Gumball Rally, the Disney news never stops. We have an amazing collection of photos and information for you today, including tantalizing news about a show for the shuttered Hyperion Theater, some great construction progress, operations updates, and a wild ride for some very happy guests. And then Dusty Sage had an update called Big Profits, Bigger Cuts, and Blue People. As he says, although you hear very few people talking about it, Avatar is a massive international juggernaut, and Bob Iger wants it at Disneyland. But that's assuming it hasn't already been scaled back by his other big news, massive budget cuts. We'll take a look at where you might find Blue People in the not-too-distant future. But there's a lot more today. Golden Gate is rising, another classic downtown Disney restaurant about to depart, construction all over, and what refurbishments to watch out for. Plus, there are so many festivals and celebrations going on right now at the Disneyland Resort that we wrote a little guide for you. So, so some of the stuff we talked about, and that'll be in that update. You can go through there. They always have plenty of pictures, so you can get a good look at how things look. Again, go to thesweepspot.com, and we will have our show notes there. Do you have any refurbishment information, Lynn?
I do.
All
right, so refurb time. This is as of the 17th of February. French Market and Mint Julep Bar go down starting tomorrow. We're recording this on the 16th, so starting on the 17th. Going down and no return date. I'm assuming early, beginning of summer or late spring. Possibly. Indiana Jones. No return date yet. Adventureland Treehouse. No return date yet. Grizzly River Run is down currently and returns on March 17th. Mickey's PhilharMagic is down and returns February 24th. Silly Symphony Swings is down and no return date. Up to as far out as the calendar goes when I say no return date. Mark Twain Riverboat is down March 6th and comes back on the 10th. So just during the weekdays, it looks like a Monday through Thursday, Friday. So Disneyland Monorail is down March 20th to the 24th. So just a few days there. And then, of course, we've mentioned the Toontown will reopen on March 19th. But the Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railroad is open in Toontown. That's all I have. So.
All right.
Yeah.
So.
Is that all you had for the current events, Ken?
Unless I can think of something else off the top of my head, that's all I have. Wanted to thank everybody for listening. We do have main topic episodes alternating with these current event episodes. So if you go back to the previous main topic episode, it is Main Street USA. We talk all about that, including what it was like for us to work it. And we'll have another main topic coming up next week.
That's right. If you'd like to join our Patreon, you can go to patreon.com and sign up for that and get a bonus episode and once a month and hopefully be a part of the live stream once a month. And then also we only have, I was looking at our inventory, we only have a few more of the audio books on USB drive. So if you want those, now is the time to get those.
Yeah, those flash drives are great. They're people are really impressed by them, and rightly so. Of course, you can get the book the normal audiobook way online, but
both of them.
But this thing is a great little thing to treasure, and it's very cute. So you did a good job setting that all up.
Well, you did a good job narrating it.
Oh, thank you so much.
So thank you so much for listening.
I didn't sneeze during the book, by the way.
No, sneeze free. But thank you for listening. And like Ken said, catch our main topic show on the alternate days that we release this. So next week we'll have our main topic episode coming out. Thank you for listening.